Hello and welcome to the Oliveboard platform. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about SSC CGL Tier 2 and then we are going to specifically focus on the current affairs section, how to deal with it. All right. So first of all, you all must be knowing by now that in SSC CGL Tier 2, there is paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 2 is only for those who are applying for, say, junior statistical officer, that is your JSO, and the statistical investigator, that is your, again, a grade 2 post. But we are more, say, focused on paper 1 as of now for this particular session. And if we see the breakdown for paper 1, then here there are two sections, section 1 and section 2. Section 2 is again, that is the data entry and the speed test. So data entry, speed test, we are not going to discuss any further beyond this point. We are going to focus on section 1, which again consists of these three sections, and that is your module 1 and module 2, which is your maths and reasoning in section 1. In section 2, there is your module 1, module 2, and this comprises of your English and general awareness. And in section 3, there is the module 1, which comprises of computer test. Now, the computer knowledge test is again a qualifying test, and the duration is 15 minutes. So we will not talk about the computer knowledge again beyond this point, and we are going to focus on these two parts. Now, if you see here, then you will note that for the English comprehension, the English language, you have the weightage of 35%. All right. And in the general awareness part, there is 19% weightage, whereas for maths and reasoning, it is 23% weightage each. What do I mean to say? There are 30 questions for 90 marks in maths, 30 questions for 90 marks in reasoning, 45 questions for 135 marks in English, and 25 questions for 75 marks in general awareness. By which we already understand that if you are too much worried about the current affairs, too much worried about the general awareness, you just have 2 weeks left. So in this particular time period, you should first focus on what you already know and try to revise the things which you know, and above all, give the mock test regularly if possible. See, about the worries and stress, nobody can do anything, but if there is something I am sure about, that is that you should give the mock test daily. All right, don't get worried about your marks. Don't, say, be too much bothered about, oh, these are my marks in this section, I'm not scoring. All right, keep on learning from them, but please do go ahead with the mock test on a daily basis for your tier 2 examinations. That is number 1. Coming to the general awareness part now, I hope you have already observed this difference in weightage first. So, where the change is going to come, it is the rank of the candidate. So, for the selection, say, what is more important is you have to study what you know, plus given the fact that we just have 2 weeks left, you have to understand that for the current affairs part, for the entire general awareness part, if I have to segregate it, then I am going to say first focus on what you know, what you have learned. Say, for example, if you have learned polity, okay, if you have learned the articles and everything, what is the use of learning something new for past 3 months things, or say sometimes even for past 1 month? Yesterday, say there was the if there is a new launch by DRDO or the new test fire, then probably that will also come in your examination. So what is very much into news, you have to cover that. But otherwise, say, focus on what are the things which you have already learned and by hearted, right? So having said that, now let me come to the rest of the details, and that is about the current affairs. Okay, see, number one is obviously the government schemes, okay, the ones which are too much in news, like the PM Sampada. It is in news, chances are high it can come. But then there are other government schemes also, and the list is long. Okay, so something which is too much highlighted, chances are there that that will come in your examination. So I think if you have already studied the government schemes, you focus on what you have studied. And also, if something which is there in the past 4 months, say, something which is in the news and it is highlighted a lot, then you have to focus on those. You don't have to go into too much detailing, because you see, only you have 25 questions and marks is 75, but 25 questions. And the weightage is also, say, less comparatively, and that is a 19%. So focusing on the general awareness part will be more helpful than, say, only the current affairs part. Now, having said that, I'll come to the list and how this sequence can be understood. Is that, say, space missions. First of all, there can be many space missions, but we know, when we read that particular current affairs, we know which space missions are of importance. And if you make the list of that, if you go through it, then probably you will be able to answer the question, because somewhere or the other, in your mind, you will remember, okay, this I had read and this I can say, well, okay, let me take on this one, right? So, like that, even if you don't remember the exact word, the exact name, but looking at the options, you will be able to answer the space missions. Say space and defense, if they're joined together and if there is a question, that becomes very important. So that way you have to see, and what is the role of India with respect to that, like that you have to see. Okay. Then major government schemes, specifically if the government has come up with something which is helping, say, the farmers, or I already told you, say it is helping the pollution in Delhi, because you know that that is too much already in news. So if that particular scheme is there, then by reading only you will understand that this is the problem as of now, so this is the solution, this is important. Now international summits, I think for the last past 4 months, whatever is there, that is going to be important again. If anything is too much into news, only then. Appointments that can be there, so if you have studied appointments, very good, you revise that itself. If you have not studied appointments, then at least the top appointments you should know them. At least, say, for if you open the india.gov.in website, and at least have a look at the most important appointments from there. Okay. So even if the post is from a long time, even if the person is from a long time, even if it is not exactly current affairs, but still, then also at least go through it once and you can see the important appointments. Then if there is any important economic development which is in news, that you have to take care of. Sports section, this space, this, if I have to say three questions from current affairs, then probably one will be, sorry, space and defense in one go. One will be from the major current affairs schemes and one will be from the, say, sports. Okay. And then if one more question is required, then that particular question will be from science and tech, if any new development has happened there. So say max 2 to 3. So you can focus like this, and whatever you have studied, you can give it a revision, and at least the past 2 months, okay, for November and December. I would say, if possible, 3 months, October, November, December. Whenever you are reading this, you must have highlighted that these are the points. Just go through those highlighted points once, all right? And try to focus based on what is important, what is too much in news. So, like that. And if it is a defense plus space mixed, that one. If it is a government scheme, and if it is, say, a sports awards, which are in news. It is, they can ask a question from film as well, so that also you can look into so many things, that is so vast. But since I had to, cut it down into something which you can actually focus on, so that is why I focused on these topics. All right. So I hope this will be beneficial. Please do not ignore what you already know, what you already studied. If you have studied, say, 3 months current affairs already, now you want to study one more month, okay, but have you revised that? Or are you sure you will be able to answer if a question is from that particular topic which you have already studied? Say if you are studying current affairs now, all right, but the static of polity that you had studied, the history that you have studied, have you revised it? Will you be able to answer? If yes, then whatever you have studied, I'm not saying you won't have to answer anything under the sun. Whatever you have studied, if a question is from there, then can you answer it? After that, you move ahead, and then you take the decision of how much in depth you want to go. Then again, you also have to pass the examination, right? So you also have to take care of the other subjects. So have you revised the maths formulas? Have you revised the rules for English grammar? Are you giving the mock test? So first, please understand that your preference should be very clear. That is to give the mock first, and after that, answering the questions that you already know, those things should not go wrong, and then revising the current affairs which you have already studied, and then you should give the preference to the latest current affairs. So okay, so that is according to me what you should be doing for the current affairs for SSC CGL 2. And that's all for this particular session. Take care, stay blessed, bye bye.